Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. Golden Grace here. How's everyone doing? I was watching something this afternoon on YouTube. YouTube taught me something this afternoon about Jamaica. And the only reason why I'm discussing this, and I'm actually bothered by learning all of it. I've learned some of it in the past. You know how you hear certain things about Jamaica and it's just a whim. You're like, okay, you know, so, this one owns this and that one owns that. This country owns this and this country owns that. But does Jamaicans own Jamaica? That's the question I have. Does Jamaicans own Jamaica? And the only reason why I'm delving into this more is the fact that I'm soon to be a citizen of Jamaica. And I want to apply for my passport, as you all know. And I want to retire here. So what is going on? I would like for my children and my grandchildren to also apply for their citizenship. By descent, it can be done. So there are many of us that want to come back, the diaspora. Many, and many don't, but many do. They want to come back from England and Canada and United States, places where we feel somewhat stifled, places where we feel like, wow, what's really going on here? Maybe we should go back home. Yes, I can call Jamaica home now. Yes. So I was watching this thing and I was learning more, and I said, wow, what has happened? We got our independence in 1962, and the different governments have somehow sold Jamaica off. I don't want to be a Debbie Downer. Golden Grace is full of grace, so she wants to be graceful in what she speaks about, and she wants to be up, 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 and happy and gleeful. But a lot of things sometimes are not so gleeful, are they? So we know in 1966, Jamaica had Air Jamaica. Air Jamaica was a beautiful, beautiful airline, had the Jamaican flag on it, had the Dr. Bird, hummingbird on its wings. And we just love flying Air Jamaica. They always had a fashion show. They always served us a full meal, not this dry food that we eat now on the planes, but that was some time ago, right? So we know in 2010, financial issues happened, and Jamaica had to relinquish all ties to Air Jamaica. And so Trinidad and Tobago came in and started Caribbean Airways. Now, I have to honestly say, I did not know that Air Jamaica morphed into Caribbean Airlines or Caribbean Airways. I think it's Caribbean Airlines. I've never flown it. So I didn't know that Air Jamaica morphed into that. So we lost Air Jamaica, national pride. I tell you, being on those flights out of JFK on JetBlue, and I know JetBlue is not a Jamaican airline, but just being there in New York and everyone coming from Queens and Brooklyn and Long Island and Staten Island and Manhattan and everywhere, getting on these flights out of JFK. Even the last flight I took down here, it was so wonderful. It was so beautiful. Everyone coming down. It was right after Christmas. Everyone coming, oh, this is my first year spending here for New Year's, and how many years, or maybe some of them have never spent New Year's here, but they just were so happy. One woman that was sitting a seat away from me, every time the flight attendant or the pilot would mention the word Kingston, Jamaica, she'd say, you hear that? You hear that? Kingston, Jamaica. It just made her feel so good, and it made me feel so good listening to her. So here we are. We've lost Air Jamaica. We don't even need to mourn about that anymore. We've lost Air Jamaica. It is now called Caribbean Airlines. But then when you think about all of the Chinese and all of the Korean and Japanese and the French coming in and just buying up Spain and Mexico, the next thing I'm going to talk about is Norman Manley Airport. We come in, we go out. The first thing we see when we come in, the first place we come in, the last place we leave, whether Norman Manley or Sangsters. Well, I knew and I've always heard that Norman Manley was owned by the Mexicans. They went into the Jamaican government, went into some type of deal with the Mexicans, and they own and part share, or I don't even know if it's a part share, I think it's owned, the Norman Manley Airport. So there we've lost there too. They went into like 25-year, 30-year deals with people, leases, they call them, on the airport, Norman Manley. The Sangsters in Mobay, that one is owned by the, I want to say it's no, it's not Mexican, it's Canada and Spain. I have it here, Canada and Spain. They own Sangsters. I mean, they're controlling all the fees, they're controlling all the vendors, they're controlling everything that goes on in the airports. That's the main one for the tourist hub, right? The tourism is big there on that side, Mobay. So they control everywhere. They control it all. And here they are in foreign lands controlling it. Controlling has nothing to do with Jamaica or the people that live here, the Jamaicans, the diaspora, those that live here. And you know, many more live abroad than live in Jamaica. But still, Jamaica is land we love. We love Jamaica. I love Jamaica. I can personally say I love Jamaica. So here we have the assets are going away. The assets are just going everywhere except in our hands or in the future generations' hands, right? Then we have the Kingston Freeport Terminal. Okay? All the goods come through there everywhere. They initially sold it to the French, or they made another agreement, lease with the French in 2016. But then in 2020, the Chinese came in and absorbed what the French had purchased, and then they purchased now the Freeport wharf or ports or docks in Kingston. Okay, this is pretty bad. This is pretty bad. Everything that goes on, everything that comes through, everything when we go to pick up our barrels, nothing is being controlled by Jamaicans, Jamaica. What is going on? Oh my God. It's disturbing. It's disturbing. We never really give it a whole lot of thought, do we? I don't think, some of us do. Some of us are reading the papers and seeing every bit, but a lot of us are not. Those living in England, those living in Canada, those living in America, we're so busy trying to take care of life and trying to make everything balanced there, trying to take care of our families, trying to take care of our relationships and our marriages and our jobs to maintain paying bills, that we a lot of times are not paying attention to all of this. So that's what's going down at Freeport Wharf area, the Freeport docks in Kingston. Then we have JPS. I pay a JPS bill monthly. But who owns JPS? We know that they are the sole provider of electric here in Jamaica. Who owns JPS? The Koreans and the Japanese. The Koreans and the Japanese. I don't know why I thought that it was owned by the government of Jamaica. I think back in the 1970s it was, but we're way past that now, aren't we? So they owned the electrical grid here in Jamaica. So picture that. I know there's a lot of power outages up here in the country, and sometimes they're down in Kingston, and they're all around the country. But the Koreans and the Japanese are the ones making decisions about our electrical grid and how much we pay. These things are being controlled in boardrooms way miles away from Jamaica. Come on, what's going on? This is not good. This is not good. A lot of people are very angry about the exorbitant fees. I can't say I pay a lot of large fees because I'm not here continually. If I was here continually, yes, I've paid $6,000-7,000 for 1 month or so and that's what you pay to initially turn it on. But I can't say that the fees are large for me because I'm not here continually. If I were here continually, maybe then I would really complain. We know that the food, we don't even want to talk about the food. I bought a green pepper the other day. It was 800 Jamaican dollars. Okay. You get 15,000 Jamaican dollars for each 100 US dollar. Let's just round it off to 15, right? You can get a little more, I think, if you do black market. Where black market is these days, I don't know. So can you imagine paying for one green pepper 800 Jamaican dollars out of your 15,000, 100 US dollars? I don't even want to convert anymore the Jamaican to the US to the Jamaican, because somehow it just doesn't work out. It's a lot going on. And then we have our bauxite. We have our bauxite plants, right? Bauxite, years ago you would say, that saying that said aluminum, what is it? Alcoa can't wait. There was a saying, Alcoa can't wait. Bauxite is the mineral that's plentiful here in Jamaica. That red dirt that's over in the Manchester, St. Elizabeth, St. Anne's, all of that beautiful, beautiful red dirt that you see there is a mineral that makes up bauxite. Alcoa can't wait. They make aluminum from that. So who owns that? Russia owns it, and China. Really? That's been going on for years. I have heard of that for years. But really? So all of the airways, all of the minerals in the land, all of the power grids, what does Jamaicans own? And as I said, I'm not trying to be negative here, but the more I look into it, the more I say, what is really happening here? What happens to the generations to come? What do they own? I don't want to say that most of the politicians here must be putting all the money in their pockets, but I have to say that is probably what's going on. Yeah, because there's a lot of poverty. There's a lot of poverty. There's a lot of poverty here. It's saddening. It's saddening. J. Ray and nephew. J. Ray and his nephew. Who owns that? Who owns that? Has the Jamaican flag on it. The last time I was in the airport, the guy called it, you're buying all-purpose. All-purpose. I always knew it was all-purpose, but no one ever called it all-purpose. The rum. We drink it, we put it in everything. Everything. We put it in our food. You could put it in your oxtail. You could put it in your goat. You could tip a little in your chicken when you cook. I know I do it. We make our cakes. We make our carrot juice. We make our rum punch. It's in everything. We use it for colds when we get sick. My dad used to always have it sitting beside the bed head all the time. Come here, come here. He would rub us down with this white rum, make us draw it up in your head, draw it up in your head, and make us draw it up in our head for our colds so that we would be unclogged. So yeah, it's all purpose, but I never heard anyone ever say that till I was checking out the other day at the airport, and the guy said, oh, you bought, I don't know how many bottles I bought. Let's say 4, hypothetically. Oh, she bought 4 bottles are all purpose. All purpose. Okay, that's a good name for it. We don't need to call it J. Ray and nephew anymore. We can just call it all purpose. But what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What do we own? What do we own? They put you through so much to get the little land that your parents, your foreparents left, your grandparents left. They put you through so much to get all of the specs done, all of the deed work done, to get the electric turned on. I had to go through a lot just to get electric turned on in my name. I had to get documents signed and signed and signed. A whole lot. I had to prove how I was connected to this house. I had to prove it. Oh yeah, it was work. So yeah, it's a lot going on here in Jamaica. It's something to think about. And the only reason why I'm going over this, and the only reason why I'm talking about this, and we know there are many countries that China's going into, France, Japan, Korea, all these countries are being taken over by the larger countries. We know that there is a silent war, you would call it, going on. America, Canada, England. You don't even hear England coming up that much. Remember there was a saying, the sun never sets on England. England owned almost the whole world. Everywhere the sun was setting, the sun was rising. So the sun never set on England. You don't even hear England coming up anymore. But we thrived and strived and fought for independence. To give it all away? To give it all away. Piece by piece. Parcel by parcel. So what does Jamaicans own in Jamaica? It's disturbing, to say the least. I love you all. I just want to come on here, Golden Grace. I don't want to be a downer today, but I just wanted to bring some facts and some things to think about. What is going on? What is going on? Love Jamaica. Love Jamaica. I love Jamaica. Love you all. We'll chat soon. Golden Grace signing off. Write your thoughts below. Write your comments below. Maybe some of us already knows this. Maybe many of us have already delved into it and given it thought, given it consideration. A lot of us are thinking about retiring here. A lot of us want to be feeling comfortable here as Jamaicans as we retire here. And it's just food for thought. Okay? Love you all. Golden Grace here in Jamaica. Bye for now. Chat soon.